Recent hurricanes here in the U.S. have brought record destruction, and that has some looking for ways to fortify their homes. Diana Olick takes a look at the possibilities and the costs in the latest of her series on the rising risk to real estate from increasingly extreme weather.
The destruction from Category 5 Hurricane Michael was breathtaking. But this one image had homeowners and builders alike in awe. One home left relatively unscathed on Florida's Mexico Beach.
Total devastation for miles in every direction.
Russell King built this two-story house a few years ago with hurricane winds not just in mind, but in every aspect of the design. It sits 12 feet above the ground and is anchored 28 feet into the ground.
I felt like it had a better chance of fighting the storm.
Now, 7 months later, King says it is not enough.
The storms are, in my opinion, from what I've seen, getting stronger.
He learned from Michael and is upgrading his home yet again.
All this cross bracing is new. That wasn't there. All that foam was new. That happened last month. All these light fixtures here, they're all going away, every one of them. So we're busting this up to make way to put in something else, probably pavers, where we don't have concrete that will shift against these columns.
King is fortifying the house well beyond any current building codes. His next-door neighbor built to the highest local code 2 years ago, but the home is a total loss. New mandatory building codes adopted after Hurricane Andrew have improved hurricane resistance in Florida's new construction. Nationally, the Insurance Institute for Business and Home Safety created a hurricane-fortified standard a decade ago, meant as a guideline for builders and owners. But so far, only 8,000 homes have that designation. Those that do sell for 7% more, according to a University of Alabama study.
The technology to fortify homes has advanced dramatically, but the demand for it actually really hasn't. And that may be because homeowners mistakenly believe that it's wildly expensive.
I wouldn't describe it as cost prohibitive. We actually focus on low to moderate income homeowners, and this is built balancing that along with safety.
Lance Reddig is the local executive director with Habitat for Humanity, which has built 81 homes in the Panama City area. Habitat builds beyond the latest hurricane codes and can do that even on the lowest priced homes.
We have this rod here, so then you don't need to theoretically have these other connectors on, but we do. The steel roofs does add an incremental cost that would be about 10% to the home. The rest of the things that I'm talking about is almost negligible, maybe $1,000 on a $75,000 four-bedroom house.
There are levels of protections just as there are categories of hurricane strength. The latest Habitat homes fared better than their neighbors in Hurricane Michael, but Russell King isn't taking any chances.
We'll spend easily another $100,000.
Do you believe that there's such a thing as a hurricane-proof house?
No. No.
It's impossible to put a specific price tag on fortifying any home, but the Insurance Institute estimates that, for example, in Mississippi, it would cost $3,000 to $5,000 more in the total cost of an 1,800 square foot home to build to its fortified gold standards versus the basic code standards. Right.
Diana, by the way, welcome. Good to see you.
Thank
Important
you.
series there. Why does there seem to be so little knowledge about this topic?
Well, because a lot of homeowners, they see the destruction after a hurricane and they think, well, you're going to get wiped out or maybe it's going to go somewhere else. And there's just no middle ground in between. And there really is. Interesting, even in the highest end homes where you see builders putting this in, they don't get as much attention from the really high end homeowners. They just figure, you know, it's either going to get wiped out or it's not.
And like the gentleman said, I mean, there's no such thing as a hurricane-proof home, is there?
Not proof, but
you can
resistant.
mitigate.
I mean, look at his house, the only one standing on the beach. And there were definitely damage to it. He learned a lot of lessons from it, but it's still standing, it's still fine.
And so what are other people doing? When you were down there, are most of the homes still destroyed, or is everyone building back?
I could not believe the disaster that was still there. It looked like it had happened basically the week before. There was nothing out on Mexico Beach except bulldozers and trailers and people, and there were a lot of investors actually buying up the property and looking to build again.